Alright, welcome back to all my Capricorns. So, the cards that I come up with are the Seven of Spears, the Magician, the World, right? The Hermit, King of Swords. Let me show it to you real quick. The Eight of Swords, King of Spears, the Fool, Six of Cups. You already know what I see about this card. You already know. If you're new to this, you're gonna find out what I mean. And then last but not least, you have the Hangman. So for starters, right, for appetizers, you have the Six of Cups. So you and someone else are going to get a chance, right, to briefly talk and decide for yourselves whether or not the two of you are going to get back together. The Six of Cups is usually a card where it's about loved ones, about romance, and because of this is about how the two of you used to hang out with one another, but you don't anymore. Now, for the other cards, the World does represent Capricorn, okay? It represents that world domination mindset that a lot of Capricorns tend to have, right? As a zodiac sign. And it represents how a lot of you Capricorns, you want to have this person in your life. But the Hermit represents how this person may be a little bit too uneasy or too unethical for your own good. The King of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the King of Spears, and even the Fool represents just that. Because what this is about the differences that you and the other person has had when you were hanging out with one another, and that unfortunately the two of you just didn't see eye to eye. So the Hangman now represents how, if this is the case, then what it is that you want to do is, even though the two of you are going to speak to one another, this could really take a while before the two of you can come to some sort of an agreement. If the two of you don't automatically have an instant repelling, right? So the Sun and the Two of Pentacles is about how a lot of you Capricorns want to be able to interact with them where there's no harm or foul, right? The Sun is usually a card of being able to be cheered up, and the Two of Coins represents how the two of you have good chemistry and how the two of you actually have some sort of companionship. But what's getting in between the two of you is the differences that the two of you has exhibited or have exhibited in the past. Now the Ace of Cups, the next couple cards, the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Spears now represents how to get deeper into this, right? The two of you do have a mutual liking for each other as far as lust is concerned, right? The Ace of Cups. But the Eight of Spears represents how there's one of the things that broke up the relationship in the first place. Sorry about this, fixing it. One of the things that broke up the relationship between the two of you in the first place is represented by this card, which is, unfortunately, in this particular reading, a lack of communication. Y'all already know how much I stress communication in all of my readings. People who don't have good communication skills, I'm not even, and when I say good communication skills, I'm not talking about you have to say something with perfect diction and it has to be said well. What I mean when I say good communication skills is that you can display an idea, or you can say what's on your mind, right, on your chest, and there's no ambiguity attached to it. There's no kind of confusion attached to it. This is what it is, and this is what it is. And that's what it is that the two of you lacked, is that clear communication. So with that being said, the Five of Cups and the Justice now, right? The Justice represents the damage, unfortunately, that has to be repaired. But it just doesn't mean only that. The Five of Coins represents how this person likes you back in return. You know what I mean? And if the two of y'all actually get some good communication going on, they will actually tell you that. But the Justice represents how how a lot of you Capricorns, you know, need to see it in different ways, and not you need to see it in different ways, and not necessarily get so caught up in them coming back to you and saying something, or you going to them and saying something, and initiating it first. Only a little bit more. So the Six of Spears and the Four of Spears now, right? It represents now how, if this is really so much the case, the Six of Spears and the Four of Spears is now going to represent how somebody has to be the bigger person and actually apologize if the two of you are really going to last. So who's going to be the bigger person, Capricorn? Is it going to be you and just apologize? And if you really still want to continue to get to know the person on a deeper level, you're willing to do that? Or are you waiting for the other person to apologize? Now, the person who messed up is the person who should apologize. I don't want to see any of the zodiac signs, really, but I don't want to see you Capricorns in particular, because it is a Capricorn reading, come to the comment section and say, well, yeah, this person messed up. No. Takes two to tango. Everybody messed up in this given situation, some shape, form, or fashion. I can go through my encounters with women, and I can go ahead and tell you honestly what it is that they did wrong, or if they did anything wrong, right? And if I did something wrong. The only excuse that you would have to say that you didn't do anything wrong is when you really did everything right, and that you didn't even really have a chance to even get to know the other person, because the other person was so ready and interested in trying to put up these blockages in front of you and trying to get you to hit these walls, right, to slow you down or stop you, to the point where they end up making themselves look crazy. So if you'd like to contact me for a personal reading, my email address as well as the prices are in the description box below. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Also too, please make sure to give this video a good thumbs up. This helps with the algorithm. It helps or thumbs down. It helps my YouTube channel grow. That's pretty much it. Peace.